Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction of class 10th NCERT book. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now we have discussed about the concept of light, then we discussed about the properties of light, and in which I told that light is having the properties such as it travels in a straight line. Then it also shows two more properties of reflection and refraction. Reflection means the bouncing back of light from when after striking the surface of the mirror or any other plane surface. And then we discussed about the concept of the refraction, where refraction means the bending of light when it travels from one medium to another medium. Now, if we talk about, so we have also talked about some more concepts which were related with the reflection of light. That is, we talk about the laws of reflection, where we discussed about the two laws of reflection. That first law was the incident ray, the normal, the point of incidence, then reflected ray, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, all these lie on the same plane. Same plane means that it is the plane where the experiment is taking place. Okay, and then we discussed the second law, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection whenever we also discussed about the special cases where the angle could be 0 degree and 180 degrees. Then we discussed about the concepts which are related with the spherical mirrors, where two mirrors we have to study in this chapter, that is the concave mirror and the convex mirror. So we discussed the properties of the concave and the convex mirror, where concave mirror means it is a part of a mirror which is obtained from the spherical glass mirror, where the reflecting surface is always bent inwards, means it is always in the inward form. And the convex mirror is a mirror which is obtained where the reflecting surface is it is bent outwards. And then we discuss some rules which are related, means some terms which are related with these spherical mirrors, like pole, principal axis, focus, and then center of curvature, radius of curvature, focal length. All these things we have already discussed. And lastly, in the last class we discussed about the rules which is related with the ray diagrams, and then we discussed about the different positions by which the image could be made. And today again I am going to discuss about the ray diagrams which are to be made with the help of these places where the object could be placed. So the object could be placed, as you could see at the back side of this screen, that the various positions of the image could be there, various positions of the image object is there where the image will be formed. So we discussed about the laws of reflection, means we discussed about the laws which are related with these concave mirrors. The first rule of ray diagram says that whenever the ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it always passes from the radius. It is always going to pass from the focus when it is always parallel to principal axis. And the second rule was that whenever the ray of light is passing from the focus, it always pass parallel to principal axis after reflection. And then the third rule was that whenever the ray of light is sent obliquely on the pole, it is going to reflect back obliquely with the same angle of reflection. So angle of incidence will always be equal to angle of reflection. And then one more rule was there which is like whenever the ray of light is parallel to whenever the ray of light is passing from the center of curvature, it is always reflected back along the same path. So with these four rules we are going to draw the ray diagrams when the objects are placed at these 6 positions, which is written at the just back side of this in this slides. Okay, so we are going to discuss the ray diagram on the concave mirror because of the various positions of the object which has been placed. So let us discuss about the first ray diagram. First I am going to describe about the various positions, and then we go on to the ray diagrams. Okay, so the first thing is that the objects are placed at various positions where the objects could be at infinity, and then beyond center of curvature, then it could be at the center of curvature, that is at C, then it could be at between the center of curvature and the focus, as it is the next position. Then the next position is that it could be at focus, and it could be between focus and the pole. So we are going to discuss about these 6 positions which is of the object, and where these objects could be placed in front of the concave mirrors. Okay, so we go to the first ray diagram, that is the image, different types of the formation of image by the concave mirror when the object is placed at infinity. Now I told you that what is the meaning of the word infinity. Infinity means it is at the very far away, means the object is kept very far away. Okay, very far away from the mirror, in front of the mirror. It is not there, it is placed somewhere, we don't know from where the rays are coming. So when the object is placed in front of the concave mirror, an image is always being formed, whether it is a concave or a convex mirror. Now the image always forms where the two lines are going to meet. So you have to remember the rules which were told, and it is the second thing is that what you have to remember is the image is always formed where the two reflected rays meet. Okay, so these are the places where the two rays are going to be intersected with each other, then they appear to intersect. So if in the case of we are talking about concave mirror, then the two reflected rays will be meeting at some place, and if we're talking about the convex mirror, it is always appear to intersect at each other at certain place or certain point. Okay, so there now we have to find out the position of an image by the concave mirror. We are going to use only those rays of light which is starting from the object. Okay, so in these cases where we have to see the ray diagram, then we are only going to use the rays which is coming only from the object. Okay, so we are not going to take many rays, we are only going to take 2 rays which is coming from the object. Then after the reflection, then it will be very easier for us to draw the image, and its path could be traced very easily. Okay, now for the following rays of light are usually used to locate the images which is formed by the concave mirror. Fine, now for that we need to recall the rules, and we have seen the rules already, and I told you that whenever the image will be formed, it will be formed where the two lines are going to cross each other, where the two lines are going to intersect each other. Okay, so the first place which we will discuss is the image when the object is placed at infinity. Infinity means we don't know where these objects are, where these rays are coming from, where these rays are coming. Okay, now when the object is very considerable at a large distance, means it is very far away, as I told you that object is placed at very far away, then we say it is at infinity. Now what kind of image will be formed? See, whenever we have to draw these images, first we need to see the mirror where it is being kept. Which type of mirror we have to take? We have to take a concave mirror, which we have taken like this. Its name is MN. Okay, its name is MN, or it could be like mirror, it could be written only by M. Then what we have to do is we will take one ray which is coming from infinity, from any distant object. We don't know from where is this ray coming. So the first ray which is coming and striking at the surface, it is going to be reflected back along the if it is coming obliquely, then it is again going to be passed obliquely. Fine, why it is going to pass obliquely? Because this is the rule that whenever the light is coming obliquely, it always goes along the same angle. So here if we draw the normal, if we are going to draw the normal, we will find that angle I is equal to angle R. Fine, similarly next will be when the second ray is going to come and strike at the pole. Okay, suppose that it is striking at the pole, then what happens? It is again going to be reflected by a certain angle, as we talked about. Okay, so whenever it is striking the pole, it is going to be reflected back along the same angle. Okay, so this was the rule. So according to these two rules, whenever the two rays where they are intersecting, so we found that it is going to intersect at focus. So this image will be formed like this. So the object is always upright. Okay, so the object is always in a straight line, means it is always upright. Fine, upright means straight. Then the two rays are going to come and they cross they are going to strike this mirror, as it is a plane surface, it is going to be reflected along the same angle of incidence, which is equal to angle of reflection. So these two rays are going to follow these rules, and it is going to be meeting, means it is going to be intersected at a place, and then we are going to make one image which will be inverted image. Okay, so it will be formed at focus sometimes, and this image is so small that we cannot see. So we have to write the description of this ray diagram. That how you are going to write the description, I just wanted to tell you that if you have to draw the ray diagram, then you have to explain that. Now how are you going to explain this? You will write that the steps by which you have made the image. Okay, so first you have taken a concave mirror, then the two rays which are coming from the infinity, it could be AB or AD, which is written here as AD, and the next will be AP. Okay, it is striking at AP. Now it is going to be reflected along the some angle, as the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. We are following the same rule now, and we are going to obtain the image where these two rays are going to intersect each other, and that place where it is going to intersect each other will be focus. And the image which will be formed is always inverted, and it is always the real image, as you are going to obtain it on the same side of the mirror. Okay, it is going to be obtained on the same side of mirror. Okay, so this is always is that whenever the image is found on the same side of the mirror, it is always a real image. We can see that image. Okay, so this is how the image will be described. So the image is always real and inverted. First thing, as it is inverted, as you could see that it is upside down, so the object could be upright, and the image is always, if it is A and B, the object is always A dash and B dash. See, if arrow is written as A, then this arrow will also be written as A dash. Image arrow will also be written by the same letter by which you are denoting it in the object. Okay, so please remember all these small concepts, which is going to, because of which you are going to lose your marks in the examination if it comes to draw. And it is very important part of this light chapter to draw the ray diagram. Sometimes it comes in the form of completion, that you have to draw and complete the ray diagrams, and sometimes in the examination it is being asked that if the various positions are being placed, and then you have to draw the complete ray diagram, and for that you need to draw the arrows and all. You have to draw such a neat diagram. See, I think this image is not being clear, so I have used this another image also for understanding. Now here the rule is changed somewhat. Fine. Now here only one rule is being used, where if you feel that object is kept at infinity, the rays could come from anywhere. So we were talking about two oblique rays. Now here, if the ray is coming at a straight line, it is parallel to principal axis. The first rule says when the light is traveling parallel to principal axis, after striking the mirror, it always reflects back from the focus point. So it is being reflected from the focus. So the ray goes like this, and it is passed like this. Okay, it is going to come and cross from focus. Now again, if another ray of light is coming from an object, it is striking the mirror, which is parallel to principal axis. It strikes the mirror, and after striking, it is passing from focus. Now when it is passing from focus, where is this light ray meeting with each other? It is meeting at focus. So the image will be formed here, and the image is so small, it is so diminished that we cannot see even as it is crossing the focus. Okay, so this is how we are going to explain the ray diagram, and you could use any of the rules. And please remember that only two rays of light will always be used for drawing such ray diagrams, because of which it becomes easy for you all to recognize how is this image being formed. Okay, so always remember to draw only the two rays which is coming from the object. Fine. So the first rule was this which is used here in this diagram was that the ray parallel to principal axis always passes from focus. Similarly, the second ray which is traveling parallel to principal axis always passing through focus after reflection. And don't forget to draw these arrows. It is going to tell the direction of the incident ray and the reflected ray. Similarly, here we have used the rules. We have used only one rule, that if the ray of light is passing passing obliquely on this striking on this mirror at some point, it is going to be reflected back along the same angle, and we don't know where is this light ray going to be passed and meeting. Then the second ray also followed the same rule. If it is striking the pole, it always is going to pass from certain angle. Now if we are going to draw the image, it will be very small, it will be highly diminished, it will be inverted, it will be real, and it is formed at focus. So that point will be focus. Now I think you all will be thinking, or some question might be arising, that how do we come to know that it is always formed at focus? See children, now the very important point is that if you are drawing this ray diagram in a very very calculated manner, means everything should be in a straight line, your object should be in a straight line, it should be neither very tall, not very small. So what happens, if you're drawing it correctly, you will get the correct positions. Please remember that you are going to get the correct position of the image if you are going to draw the ray diagram correctly. Okay, so please use the correct way of drawing these ray diagrams. You're going to get the correct result. Fine. Now if this focus is there and then the object is found here, so it is always in a very diminished way, it is always point size, it is written point size. There is nothing like, if you could write point size is okay, otherwise it is to be written like highly diminished is the correct word. Next is it is formed at the focus. Okay, so the position of the image is at focus. Then what is the nature of the image? The nature of the image is always real and inverted, highly diminished. Okay, so these all things are always to be written with the way of explanation, on the way of explanation, and I told you how to explain the ray diagram. Now similarly you will explain all other ray diagrams of various 5 other positions which we are going to discuss now. Now the second I think this first ray diagram might be very clear to you all, and it requires practice. So I think if you could draw these ray diagrams number of times, it will be a very good practice for you all, and it could be very easy for you all to draw anywhere if it is being asked in the examination. Fine. Now next position which we are going to discuss is that if the object is placed beyond C. What is the meaning of this word letter C? So this letter C means it is a center of curvature. Okay, now and what is the meaning of the word beyond C? Beyond means it is just away from center of curvature, means it is after center of curvature. Fine. It is going to be back from the center of curvature, means it is very far away from center of curvature, anywhere which is far away from center of curvature. Fine. So here the object is being placed like A and B, which is A is this arrowhead and B is its base, and then if the ray of light is passing parallel to principal axis, it is always going to be passed from focus after reflection. Okay, so it is formed after reflection. Fine. Now if this is going to be parallel to principal axis, it always passed from focus. So this was the first rule, remember that. Now the second rule which we are going to use here is the ray of light which is passing from the center of curvature will always be reflected back from the center of curvature, means it is going to always reflect back along the same path. Okay, now this is the second rule which we are two rules we are using here. So with this the image will be formed somewhere where these two lines are going to intersect. So the line which is going to be intersect will be between C and F, means here this is focus and this is center of curvature. So we will obtain the inverted image which is always found on the same side of the mirror and which will be always be inverted. So this will be very easy for you all to understand that the image which is being obtained will be between C and F, means center of curvature and focus. So I think you should follow always the rules. You should not ignore these rules. It is very easy for you all to draw the ray diagram if you are following the correct rule. Okay, so if this object is kept beyond C, then what happens? Then the image which is formed will be between C and F. Okay, so the diagram says So here again I have drawn this clear diagram, clear picture is kept here, so you could see, you could revise from this side again. So this is the object which is A and B, as you could see it is being mentioned also. Then a ray of light parallel to principal axis, after striking the mirror surface it is going to pass from focus. So first rule. Then second rule says that when the ray of light is passing from center of curvature, it is always going to pass back along the same path. Okay, so we will draw the same arrows. Don't forget to draw the arrows. Now these lines are going to intersect here and you are going to obtain a virtual real inverted image. Again, why real inverted image? Inverted you have understood, because the ray where the object is going to, where this rays are going to be met, it is always going to form the inverted image, because the arrowhead will be at the side where this is going to cross. So the arrowhead, that is A, will be upside down. So this is upside down and you are going to get a real image. Fine. Now I think this real image should be drawn with the solid line, so I'll make it clear like this. It should be drawn with the solid line, and then the ray of light which is passing from the center of curvature is always going to reflect back along the same path. So we have seen that image is always formed between C and F. Okay, so it is diminished. Again, it is smaller than the object, as you could see here. It is diminished, it is between F and C, and it is real and inverted. So this is the case where the object is going to be formed when the image is going to be formed when the object is kept beyond C. Okay, so this is how the ray diagram will be formed when the object is placed away from the center of curvature. Now I am just repeating it again and again. You have to follow the rules. If you are following the rules, then it will be very easier for you all to understand and draw the ray diagram in a very correct manner, and you are definitely going to get the correct this correct image formation when you are going to take the objects and the rays correctly. Okay, now the third place where this object is placed at center of curvature. So when the object is placed at center of curvature, then what happens? Again, we are going to follow the rules, the same rules. When the object is placed at center of curvature, just keep the object at C and name it as A and B. Okay, then after that you will use the same rules. The line parallel to principal axis will always pass from focus. Again, next thing is that you are going to strike the object, this ray again which is traveling from center of curvature, means when it is passing from the focus, it is always parallel to principal axis. Now it is very clear that the center of curvature is already engaged. Okay, so it is already being used up, so nothing is being left. Like if you are drawing the image which is passing from center of curvature, will always be reflected back along the same path, because there is no center of curvature left free. So we are going to use the rule that when the ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it always passes from focus. Similarly, when the ray of light is passing from focus, it is always parallel to principal axis. Now we find that the two rays are going to meet here, and that point is the center of curvature only, and the image will be of the same side. Okay, the image is always obtained on the same side. Fine, so the image which is obtained will always be on the same side, and it is always a vertical, it is always a real image, an inverted image at C, and it is of the same size. Okay, so please remember that it is always at the same size. So you will just draw this with a solid line. You are going to draw it as it is a real image, so you cannot draw it with the dotted line. Fine, so please remember that you will draw the correct image, and it is obtained at C. It's very easy for you all to understand. It's very easy because why it is easy? Because you are following the rules. So again, the second diagram is very much clear to you all. I just revise it once again, that a ray of light which is passing parallel to principal axis will always pass from focus. Okay, after reflection, so it is passing from focus. Next thing is that if the ray of light is passing from focus, it is always parallel to principal axis, and you find that these two lines are always meeting at the point which is the center of curvature. The image will be formed at center of curvature. As you could see here, the image is A dash and B dash, and you please remember that where these two rays are intersecting with each other, at that point the arrowhead will be drawn. The correct position of the object will be drawn, means it is A dash and the above position is B dash. Okay, so if the object is named as A and B, the image will be named as A dash and B dash. Okay, So this is how the image will be formed when the object is placed at C. Next is the next position where the object is placed between focus and the center of curvature. Now where is focus and center of curvature? It's here. It's drawn very small object. So we take an object which is very small, that is kept between focus and center of curvature. Now how you are going to draw this? Again you are going to draw when the line is parallel to principal axis will always pass from focus. Okay, because we cannot use this, first we are going to use the first rule, that is it is going to pass from the focus as it is parallel to principal axis. Next thing is that when the ray of light is passing from center of curvature, it is always going to pass back along the same path, and we find that this image, these two rays of light is going to meet at the point which is somewhere here, and the image will be formed is always real and inverted. Okay, so the image is always formed that is real and inverted. Fine. So this is how again the ray diagram is formed, where the image is always real and inverted, and it is beyond C. As you could see that it is it is going to be made after the center of curvature. It is far away from center of curvature, so it becomes beyond C. The image position will be beyond C. And what kind of image is being obtained? It is highly magnified. Magnified means it is highly enlarged. You could write the word enlarged also. Okay, it is magnified, or it is going to be enlarged. Why? Because this is obtained just after the image, just after the center of curvature. So you could see very clearly that when a ray of light parallel to principal axis, it is going to pass from focus, and if it is passing from center of curvature, it is always going to reflect back along the center of curvature, and these two rays are going to meet here. Again the same position, that the place where the object is meeting will be the right side of the right part of the image, means it will be the head part of the image. That is why it is always inverted and real, as it is obtained on the same side, but it is inverted because it is obtained just below the principal axis. That is why it is inverted. Okay, so this is how this is obtained, that it is the inverted image. And then what happens next is the image, the last position of the image which is left will be when the object is at focus. Now what happens? The object is at focus. Okay, so at this what happens? So I think the first which we have done, the object which was when it was kept at infinity. So when the object is kept at infinity, you could see that it is always obtained at focus. Now what happens if the object is placed at focus? The image will be obtained at infinity. So that will be the very clear thing to remember, that it is just opposite to the first ray diagram which we discussed. So now here what happens if the object is kept at focus? Okay, so the ray parallel to principal axis, and it is going to pass from focus. So this is the very first rule which we have expressed here, that it is when a ray of light is coming from the object which is parallel to principal axis, is always passing from focus. So it is going to pass from focus. Next is that if the ray of light is coming parallel to this is going to pass from the center of curvature, it is always reflected back along the same path. Now where is this line going to meet? I think these lines are parallel, so they are not going to meet, they are going to meet very far away, so means it is at infinity. The object is always formed, this image will always be formed at infinity. Somewhere it is going to meet in the infinity where it is very far away. So the object here which we took at focus, the image will be formed at infinity, and that will be a real inverted image, because it is going just below. Somewhere it is going to meet below, somewhere here, or some in the very far place. So this is always formed at infinity, and it is always be inverted image, and it will be real image. Why real image? Again this is obtained on the same side of the mirror, and it is obtained in the inverted form because it is at the below of this principal axis. So whenever it is passing, when the image is being formed below principal axis, it is always be inverted, and it is always be real, because it is obtained on the same side of the mirror. So please remember these words, why it is being used. So real image means it is obtained on the same side of the mirror, and inverted means it is present below the principal axis. If it is above the principal axis, it would be a it would be a the upright image. Okay, and this is so next will be at infinity. Why? Because it is the image was kept, the object was kept at focus, so the image is obtained at infinity. Next, it is highly magnified. As you could see that when the object is it could be very far away, that was very magnified object. Similarly, the image will be magnified in this case, it is highly enlarged. Okay, so this is what is about when the object is placed at focus. Now the last position which is left is the object when it is placed at pole and focus, between pole and focus. So what is going to be used here when the object is placed at pole and focus, then what happens? So if we keep the object very close to this pole and focus, somewhere here, then we follow the first rule that when a ray of light parallel to principal axis, from where it is passing? Yes, it is always passing from focus. So we'll draw like this, and then if the ray of light is passing from center of curvature, it is going to pass along with the same direction. Okay, so again this is going to be formed here, and we could see that the object is going to that is very far away from each other. It is not going to meet this side as it is parallel to each other. Now if we are going to extend these lines behind the mirror, it is going to meet somewhere here, and the object will be formed, will always be the erect image. Why erect image? Because it is again on the back, it is at the above of the principal axis, so it is always erect, it is always straight. And what happens? This is always virtual. Why? Because it is obtained at the back side of the mirror. That is why it is virtual. It is obtained on the back side. That is why it is virtual image. Okay, and it is always erect image. Why erect image? Because this is obtained on the it is obtained in a straight line. Similarly, this is placed in the in this direction, that it is drawn like this in a clear form. Again here some rules are being changed. You could draw the ray diagram using another rules also. The first rule is that you take two easiest tool. I think that only is being used here, but sometimes if the image is not being drawn with the rules, you could draw with any other rules also. So here also what is there, if the object is placed between pole and focus, pole is here and focus is here. Okay, now if the object is placed in between, if the ray of light is passing parallel it is coming from the center of curvature, it always passes from the center of curvature back. Next rule was that the fourth rule, where if the ray of light is passing and at any point from focus, it is going to be reflected along the same angle. Okay, so here this principal axis works as normal, so angle I and angle R will be equal. Now you see that these two lines are very far away and it is neither going to meet anywhere. So if you're going to extend the image this lines at the back side of the mirror, you will obtain one of the image. So this image will be formed which is at the back side of the image mirror. This will always be virtual image. Okay, this will be virtual image, and this virtual image means it is always formed at the back side of the mirror. Okay, so this is an erect image. Next thing is that it is obtained behind the mirror, that is why it is virtual. Okay, and erect because it is straight, it is obtained above the principal axis. So please remember all these small things which is going to build up your concept. Next it is what is the size of this image? Size of the image is always be magnified, it is always be magnified. So please remember that what things you have to explain. You have to explain the type of mirror which you are using, the type of image, the size of the image you will explain. Okay, the nature of the image you will explain, the nature of the image. Okay, and lastly you are going to explain the size, the nature and the position of the image. So please remember how will you explain. So the words which are going to be utilized for the size of the image is either it is diminished or it is enlarged. Okay, and nature of the image, it is virtual or real. Okay, and it could be erect, either erect, or it could be either be erect or it could be inverted. So these are the nature. So these four words will be utilized as nature of the image, and position means it is either it is present behind the mirror, or you can write down the position that between F and C, between C or at F. So you could write like this. So please remember the words which are being used here as to describe the size, the nature and the position of the image. So children, I think these are the 6 positions where the object could be kept and the image could be obtained in the very easiest manner, and please practice for these ray diagrams, as it is very important, I told you. Okay, so this is how you're going to make the ray diagrams, and remember that if you're going to draw this virtual image, you will always draw in a dotted line in this manner, and if you're going to draw the real image, you will always draw the line which is always solid. So the line which is used here will always be a solid line. So I just wanted to make this very clear that the real image is always drawn in a solid line. Okay, so you'll draw the image in a solid line, okay, because this is a real image. Fine. So this is all about the positions of the image and the object which is being kept at various position. Fine. Next we are going to discuss about the some of the uses of these concave mirrors are used like this, as you could see, as reflector, as torch by the doctors. Okay, so this I have explained in the very first video only, where I have explained about the use, where I have explained about the nature of this concave mirror. It is always used as a shaving mirror. It could be used for the solar energies. Okay, so many of the uses I have told already, so this will be a revision. Next I'll discuss about the ray diagrams which are being used by the convex mirror. Okay, so this was all about the concave mirror. I'll discuss about the convex mirror is left with again the positions will be taught you, and then I'll tell you about how to draw the ray diagrams. Fine. So that was all about the concave mirror and the image and its image formation. So that's all for today's topic. I will meet you all with the next video with the next topic to be discussed, that will be about the convex mirror.